fall over. There we go. That's better. So hi everybody. Got hair on my face. So as you may have heard, like I was sick the other day, and I was actually not great. I don't like being sick at all, and I only get sick every few years. But it's one of those things, and yes, I got a kitty in my face. Hi, Saber. Um, you know, I just yeah, and it's not COVID or anything like that because I'd be in a lot worse shape if it was COVID. Right now, like I'm not really having any issues at the moment. Like I think I'm not quite out of being sick yet, but I'm like really close. Like I put it up on Facebook and I'm not sick anymore, but by tomorrow I should be fine. I should be good to go. For hopefully seeing actually the new Spider-Man movie, so that'd be great. Um, but yeah, it was really cool to actually on. Well, actually, maybe wait for some of the more people to get in here, cause yeah, and I will mention though that like this time of year, it's not usually a great time for me. Like it's usually, all the pressures of Christmas and family stuff and whatever else is just not as great. But this year it seems to be a little better. This time last year, um, I was having health issues and I wasn't able to actually go to Christmas. So there's that. It was very sad, but it happens, right? No worries. But yeah, Kate, are you gonna lay down, there, buddy? Eh? He's just very, very lovey. Eh? Love you. Um, but yeah, so like on Sunday though, I'm sure as some of you or all of you have seen on my channel here, I went to check out a cool collection of cars. Like I just called it Junkyard Tour 4, but some of them are like junky, but actually a lot of like quite a few of them actually are in pretty good shape and really cool cars. And and later on I'll get to go back there like in the summertime and um you know drive one of his cars actually, which I've always wanted to drive, and it is a Ford Model T. This guy, I guess I gave him quite a good impression because he's just like, yeah, and if you want, I've got a couple of cars for sale. I didn't realize they're in Saskatchewan, so we'll have to figure that out. But a couple of really cool cars that I will get to sell in the future, for him hopefully. And who knows, maybe I'll be able to sell some of the other vehicles on his property as well. And I have no worries doing that. Like, I'm just curious how it's gonna work with him because he doesn't seem like he has just got a flip phone. So, trying to do business that way, right? It makes it a little difficult, and especially when he's not here. Um, I'm not gonna say where he is because of just wanting to make sure that he everything there is protected and whatnot. You know, because I'd hate for me to disclose the location and stuff gets stolen. Yeah, he definitely is a very, very handsome cat. That is Saber. He is 20 years old, and he's just a very, very lovey boy right now. And hey, Mark, how's it going? Definitely appreciate you coming on the live stream. I love this stuff so much. I don't know why this is only a limited time thing around Christmas time. Like, I would just stock up on this stuff all the time if I could, but I can't afford it. And there's old school in the chat. Been a bit. Always appreciate you coming down. I drink from many cans, and here's the thing. Cans are a lot more convenient when it comes to stuff like, um, you know. Although I much prefer, but here's the thing though, like it's so funny when people say that because yeah, and I understand why, but you think it's not gonna happen on a water bottle? You think it's not gonna happen on glass bottles too? Like it's such a stupid thing, and by the time they go out, they're cleaned and everything, and it's fine. But it's just hilarious. Yeah, I'm not getting up to go get a glass, and I prefer to drink out of a can over a glass, anyways. I like the feel. So yeah. Plus, cans make it so that I don't drink it too quickly too. Because if it's in a glass, I just down it, and it's bad that way. But yeah. Um. But anyways, like what I was saying before, though, is I went to go see a cool car collection. Couple of cool car collections, although I didn't get videos on the second collection, but yeah, you can do that too. Like, I mean, I'm not worried about it. By the time it's through manufacturing and everything and gets out here, you know, it's just one of those deals, right? But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about that. I don't care. I really don't. Not right now. I know the whole thing and whatever else. Whatever. You know. Because yeah, and actually after that whole incident as well, just about every can that leaves a factory as well, they are actually cleaned. So because of that story when it came out, trust me on that. Because I actually know people that have worked in bottling industry and stuff like that, and yeah, they clean cans on purpose, and just like they clean water bottles and they clean bottles and all that different stuff. Like it's so stupid that they're just like, hey, it's just exclusive to cans. But no, it actually happens with everything. But doesn't matter. Let's move on from this. Oh god. But yeah, like what I was saying though is because like the first collection of cars that I saw, that I filmed and you guys saw that, but I didn't get to see every single vehicle because there's a few that are off site, and also one of them was just in the container, a bunch of snow and it was cold and whatever else, and didn't bother with that one. But going out there was really cool, meeting the guy. His name is Brent. That I will say, but I won't divulge where I went with that, just in case of thieves and whatever else too, because people will be able to figure it out once you say locations and stuff like that pretty quickly. But the guy's knowledge on pre-war cars is amazing. Like talking with him and just his immense knowledge was really cool, honestly, and I learned a lot chatting with him. Really loved it. And actually, like, he's invited me back to drive his Model T too in the summertime, which I've always wanted to drive a Model T, because it's just a unique experience, right? And what's funny is it's like, okay, you look at the Model T and okay, how does this all work? Because there's 3 pedals down there, none of them are throttle, and also there is no clutch down there either. It's kind of weird that way. Your throttle is on the stock here. You actually have to do the timing advance as well to make sure that the motor actually starts and whatever else, and then keep it running. And it's just really, really neat experiences that way, and I've always wanted to do it. And yeah, this summer I'll be able to do that. So I can't wait for that. He's also said that I can sell a couple of his vehicles, which these 2 vehicles were not in the video, but the 2 vehicles were a 1950 Pontiac Silver Streak with the inline 8 in it. That's a 2-door torpedo back, so it's a really cool car, honestly. and the other one is a 50 or 51 Studebaker bullet nose coupe. So it's like, those will be really cool, and I can't wait to be able to see them. The only problem is they're out in Saskatchewan, so that's going to be tough to try and sell them. I'd have to bring them here to sell them. I can't do it there. It just doesn't make zero financial sense. I'd have to get them towed here or tow them myself, which I don't have a vehicle to tow right now, but I don't know. I'm trying to convince a friend to sell his truck to me because it's a truck I really want. But yeah, really cool talking to him and everything, and really enjoyed the experience. Was out there for probably 3 hours. My friend Cynthia invited me, and she was getting a truck from out there. And yeah, she's gonna pick it up in a few weeks. But she's just checking it out first. So that was really cool, honestly. And then I go up to my friend's property, actually near Edmonton. Well, technically in Edmonton, but not. It's kind of weird that way. But anyways, so we were going through, and like it was cold, very very cold that night. And instead of me doing a video, plus it was dark out too, we just elected to jumped in his little SUV, and we were just kind of touring his lineup of cars, right? And nice and warm, and I didn't get a video on this, and just chatting about the stories with all these cars, and just like where he got this, where he got that, what's the deal with this, what's the deal with that, and there was one in there, like there's one vehicle that when I go back out there in the summertime to film his entire collection, there's one that if people have either been following me for a long time or have gone far enough back to see a car that I owned at one point. Didn't own it for very long, but I did own it. I owned that car for less than 24 hours, and it's currently sitting out in the row, and he's not exactly sure what he's going to do with it at this point, but yeah. It just, the car is in pretty good shape, except for underneath it has a bunch of rust, unfortunately. But the one vehicle out there, though, that I really, really want is like a 70, I think he said it's about 76, Dodge pickup, single cab, long box, with a 400 in it, automatic. Rear wheel drive, honestly, really cool truck. I'm not sure if it was a D100 or D150, not sure, but honestly, super cool, and I absolutely love those trucks, and I've always wanted one. So who knows? Maybe I could make a deal with him at some point to buy that truck, and then I'll have a truck, and I would love a truck. And yeah, and beside that was a Power Wagon, similar vintage, actually slightly later, like I think it was about a 79, 78, 79, which do have a different grill and stuff like that on them. And yeah, that was a extended cab, short box, I think, actually 4x4. So that was cool too. And few Mercury Capris. Because there was a total of 4 in the lineup. A few Volkswagen Beetles, a couple of 5-liter Exploders, and quite a cool collection, honestly. And yeah, just the other one, there was also like a 66. I think it was 66. Dodge Monaco Coupe with a 318 in it, and not a 318 Poly. It's a 318 LA block. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, and it's just like apparently a perfect cruiser and whatever else, and runs perfectly. Like, and that's the thing though, with Keith there, he has all of his stuff is like nice shape for the most part. He, like, it's funny because he actually, he tells people this all the time, of he throws stuff away that's nicer than the car you drive, and to a certain degree he does that. Like, the only reason why he hasn't abandoned the one car, like that Capri that I owned, is because the panels are mint. It's just the underside, right? Because even the motor was screwed in the car too, which I didn't know that actually when I owned it. But because I didn't pull valve covers or anything like that. It was completely locked up, and there was water in the motor, so it was done, right? But you know, we'll see what he does with it. Yeah, and then because like, and obviously the stuff didn't happen in my car that I was hoping may have happened, but that's okay. But at least I know now though too is there he has all the parts I'll need for what I want to do to my car. At least excluding a couple of custom touches that I want to do. But so yeah. Other than I don't know if he has a tranny for me, but other than that, he's got everything else. So it'd be really cool. And yeah, he's got a shop and everything with a lift. Makes it really easy. He's got a transmission jack, which makes things even easier. And yeah, it'll be really cool actually. And I wish actually, because I didn't have it inside the shop there. We were the only thing we were doing was trying to, because I thought it was my fresh air vents that was giving me trouble of being cold in the car, but it wasn't actually. It's just my defrost that for whatever reason is always cold. So that's a bit weird. Um, it's probably the blend door most likely, which is kind of a pain. But it's not actually putting out that much heat either. So, which is dumb because that heater core is not that old. It's only a few months old. Like I replaced it in summertime. So I do have another heater core, actually. Um, it's in here somewhere. But yeah, oh, actually, it's on the table over there. And brand new, ready to go, and no worries there. And, it's a pretty easy job to do, but just one of those deals. And like, yeah, and I love his Monaco. To be honest, I'd love to own that too. But I got to think practically with my vehicles, because like, okay, I have a Mustang, which I love my Mustang. She's my baby, but I could use a truck. I'd prefer a 4x4, but I could use a truck. Oh, hey, Joseph. Not too much, actually. Just decided to pop on the live and chat a bit. Um, yeah, actually, it's a friend of mine up in Edmonton. I visited him on Sunday after that, because I don't know if you saw the video. I did a junkyard tour video, um, of a guy's property, and then unfortunately, when I got up to Edmonton, it was just too late, like too dark to try and film. So, I'll do that probably. Like, I'll take that trip again when the snow melts and meet up with him and film his stuff, and yeah. So yeah, and like that dude's property that I was at was honestly a really cool dude. The guy, he's an older gentleman, but that's fine. Cool dude. And yeah, and I guess I put quite the impression on him because he's invited me back when the snow melts to actually drive his Model T. So that'd be pretty cool. Um, yeah, and I can't wait for that, to be honest. Apparently the Model T has been parked for a couple years, so there definitely was. Um, my favorite was probably the Meteor on that property, by far. That Meteor Montcalm, which I'm going to redo that video when I go back out there again. Um, when it's much warmer and I can like open the doors of every vehicle and open the hoods and show all the detail, right? That instead of a 10-minute video, it'll probably be closer to a 30-40 minute video. So, and and it's fun, but it just, again, you create more detail that way, right? And I like doing that. So, yeah. Um, and I saw that it looks like you did the trade, that you were talking about, because I kind of saw that sneak preview on your Instagram there. So that's pretty cool. Can't wait to see, when you do the videos on that. Oh, it just dropped? Okay, I'll have to check it out once I'm done alive. Yeah, I am feeling better. I'm still a little sick, but nowhere near where I was yesterday. Um, Pretty simple. It's actually one of the reasons why, you know, drinking Canada Dry. Now this is Canada Dry cranberry, and I love this. Is like crack for me, seriously. And they only do it around Christmas time, and then it's gone. It's like I would so stock up on this stuff. Yeah, actually, because after the trip on Sunday, it was really cold. My car has terrible heat. Like, I'm physically now I'm not shivering coming home, but like I was cold. My hands in gloves were cold in my car coming back, so I gotta address that. Um, although it's funny though driving that thing down the highway and when you hit an ice patch and you're spinning the tire at you know doing 100 kilometers an hour, spinning the tire on the highway at 3,500 RPM is kind of funny. Oh, well, I think it's the blend door actuator most likely in my car. Because the thing is, okay, it's not producing that much heat out of it, so it might be combined with the heater core as well. Even though that heater core is like from the summertime and when I replaced it, um, is and one of those deals. So okay, that's true. That's definitely true. DIY. Yeah, like the thing is, I know my car and like this, like, because but it's funny though hearing it of like going down the highway and you hear your car do a burnout because it's on ice. It's like, okay, just let off the gas and no big deal, right? Just ease it off and that's what you do, right? You never ever slam on the brakes when you hear that. You do that, you're gonna spin. Also, don't just immediately let off the gas completely because again, you can also spin doing that too. Just let off the gas and you're fine. You know. And I was spinning everywhere to be honest. Like the car doesn't have great traction. It just doesn't. Not in the wintertime. Summertime, oh yeah. Like you know, could never actually get the tires really squawk at all. But um, and yeah, it's just one of those things that they're fun. Oh, it has no brakes. Eh, that's no fun. But no brakes means. I mean, I've done that without brakes onto trailers, and car won't do a burnout. It will not actually, because the problem is the converter, like, yeah, because the converter will only let me rev to 1,800 RPM. That's it, right? So because of that, it won't do it. If I could get it to probably 2,000 RPM, 2,100, it'd probably do a burnout, but it just won't. So, oh yeah, and the thing is, yeah, like it's a little sketchy getting a vehicle onto a trailer that doesn't have brakes. Absolutely, especially if your trailer doesn't happen to have a winch. You know, doing it that way. That's why it's nice to invest in a winch and just do it that way. Um, because yeah, and not that I have a winch at all. I don't have a trailer. I don't have a truck. I'm hoping to have a truck because I'm gonna really try and get that thing. Really gonna try because like I was mentioning earlier before Joseph came in here, is because after I was done where I was with that junkyard tour, I went up to a friend's property in Edmonton, and not Roy's, another friend of mine. He doesn't have a YouTube channel at all. Um, and we were touring his stuff. Although it was dark out, so I did not get any filming done, sadly. But that's okay. Um, you know, going through his collection, and there's not all of his collection, but the bulk of it. There's one truck in particular that I want. It's a 1976 Dodge. It's probably a D200, but maybe a D150. It's got a 400 big block in it, automatic, single cab, long box, and apparently it runs like a dream. And it's just like, oh, I want that. And it didn't look that bad, honestly. Like, I didn't go up to it and, inspect it fully, but it was just like, that truck, I would absolutely love that truck. Because that truck would be able to hold whatever I need it to. And I know those trucks pretty well, actually. So they're a little different than the first gen Rams, but not by much, to be honest. A lot of their parts are interchangeable between the two, actually. Yeah. So I am excited for that, and also like, and when I go back up there once the snow is melted and everything, and do the videos on his cars, which was really cool. I can probably get off of his property alone because of how some of the vehicles are spaced out and everything, and some of the quality of some of his vehicles. That I can actually get videos, like multiple videos off of his one property, and it'll be fantastic. So I really can't wait for that. Um, plus he's got a bunch of parts there that'll be good for my car. I can't wait for that. And yeah. I'm just super excited for that. For when that comes along. But what's nice is that, he's got a shop, and his shop has a lift in it, so, we can do work much easier on my car with a lift versus not having one, so. Because, yeah, like, for example, doing the manual swap that I want to do, we're going to be doing it there. Like, I initially thought maybe me and Roy would do it, but it might just be me and Keith instead, which I'm, totally fine with that. So, it's nice to know somebody with a lift now, because I know you had one, but I've never seen the shop until Sunday. But yeah, honestly, it was a really fantastic day, and it was nice seeing Cynthia again because it had been a while. And yeah, very happy about it. You see, and because I don't know if he's still here. Because actually yesterday or on Sunday with Novitaz's live stream, sadly, he didn't have a guest, so he only lasted about an hour, and then he called it quits because I was on the road, so was Joseph, so, and everybody else would have been busy. So yeah, unfortunately, but it's all good. Hopefully, I'll be able to get his next one, which will be not this Sunday, but one after, I think. There hasn't been an update. I don't know what to tell you there. Yeah, well, the thing is, when I was up in Edmonton, because what I was gonna do is pop in there for like 20 minutes, half an hour, just outside of, I was at Harvey's actually getting food, and, before I went back home again, but I clicked on it and just like, oh, he's not here. Okay. So, I don't know. It happens. Like, and I wish I could give you an update on Civic, but I don't have one. Like, and you know, it might just happen, and we'll see. We'll see. Um, because yeah, maybe not not super soon, but at some point, see if I can get the Civic up to Edmonton so that we can try and work on it there. Because nice warm shop that he has, and the Civic will fit in that shop without having to take his other car out of it. I know that because it's very small. The shop is not very big, but it's high roof, but not long or wide. Absolutely. Plus, I'd like to see it up on the lift and take a look underneath of it that way, because I've been underneath the car. You know, like I've had it up on jack stands and taken a look, and it's been fine. So, and plus we can fix because we could fix the rust better there too. Because again, being in a climate like that, it's just so much better. So yeah, and his attention to detail too with stuff is actually impeccable. So having somebody like that is kind of nice. Um, so we'll see. We'll just have to see when that can happen. And the thing is, I'd be spending probably 2-3 days, and hopefully we can get it together by then. Because what I would love to do with that, there's quite a few Edmonton-based YouTubers actually. You know, one of my good friends, actually, Roy Marco of Roy Marco's Garage, he's in Edmonton. Which he might be the one you're thinking of, or potentially another one. Me and Roy have done a few collab stuff, mostly working on actually all of it working on my car, but then as well as on his video of coming down and helping me with my carburetor. I actually showed him a property, and he got to film all those vehicles. Although sadly, a bunch of snow on the ground, it was kind of cold, so it didn't turn out as well. But um, well, what I'd probably end up doing, I'd own a vehicle first, because like the thing is, I don't have a truck I can go borrow right now. I don't have a trailer I can go borrow that'll fit it. Ah, okay, cool, very cool. Because yeah, like the trailer I could borrow has about 8 feet of room on it, so that wouldn't really work for the Civic. Um, and yeah, I don't have a truck I can borrow, so what I'd probably end up doing is getting a truck myself, and then renting a trailer and getting it up there. Because yeah, I mean, that's really easy to do. And to be honest, I don't like using tow dollies. I'd much rather use a proper trailer. And that thing won't be hard to push on a trailer because it's only 1,500 pounds. So I don't really care about that. Just trailers are safer. A dolly, it's like a car dolly is usually around $60 a day, but might be a little more now because COVID prices and stuff like that. But that's what I last remember from U-Haul. But the thing is, to try and get one around here, that's gonna be tough because yeah, I might have to go a little bit of distance to get a trailer that way. Might be able to find somebody with a trailer here in town that would let me borrow it, but we'll see. But yeah, and, like the truck I mentioned earlier, if I get that truck, then that'd be perfect to tow the Civic with. Like, and something that I would be tempted to do, to be honest, is rent a truck, rent a trailer, go up there, return the stuff in Edmonton, and then fix the Civic and drive the Civic back. I'd love to do that, but uh, let me hang on. Let me clean my screen here. That looks really bad. Looks like the 70s. Frick. Actually, more 80s. Here. There we go. That's better. And yeah, so that might be the plan. And yeah, and at his shop too, we can see, okay, what all does this exactly need too? Because again, he has a lift and everything, and we can see stuff a lot easier that way. Because yeah, and I mean, I don't think it needs much, but we shall see. But yeah, so that's just where I'm at with the Civic, anyways. That way, and with all the rest of the stuff, because yeah, there isn't a lot of pans in the fire at the moment. So stuff for the future, but again, not right now. That's only for a few days, so Um, and yeah, and I'm sure you heard that the NHL is not going to the Olympics this year. Um, they just announced that today. So, which is to nobody's surprise. With everything going on. Yeah, that got announced today. Um, so yeah, now they are. It's official. So now it's gonna be like Boston University or like a university or college, maybe some other affiliates like WHL and stuff like that players. So it'll still be entertaining, but you're not gonna have Connor McDavid with Sidney Crosby. Oh hey, Straight Six fan, how's it going? I definitely appreciate you coming out to the live stream. I haven't seen. I'm not sure if I've seen you actually at one of my live streams or not, or if I did, I apologize. I don't remember every single person that comes into my lives, but it's just yeah. I definitely appreciate it though. Regardless, because yeah, I like the stuff you guys do, and I know actually, because yeah, I didn't catch the live unfortunately. Um, just a little busy here, and then I'll have to do a recap on um old car guys live stream there because that was the Christmas live stream, right? So I don't know, that's looking a little better. But yeah, so it's stuff is going here. Just again, not a lot of stuff going on at the moment, unfortunately. I wish there was more, but winter, don't have a shop. That's how it goes. Like, if I decide to change out the heater core, I'll do a video on that. Um, I'll probably do a video anyways, trying to figure out my heating issues in general. Because yeah, it's got to be the blender. Just has to be at this point. So yeah, which is kind of annoying. Um, Getting to it is a bit of a pain, but I think I can without taking the dash out. So with any luck, because I don't really want to take the dash out. Ah, yeah. So, how is everybody in the chat doing? Um, yeah, because yeah, it's all of a sudden the chat has just died. My thing is currently saying 0 people watching, but I don't think that's accurate. That's what it is. Do we have anybody else in here, or am I gonna have to cut this short? Because yeah, only so much I could talk about because I talked about this weekend already. Um, yeah, I don't want to say it a third time. Well, yeah, I might just end this here. Um, because yeah, nobody's chatting. Um, you know, so it does make it a little difficult. Which I totally get it. You know, if people are just sitting here, oh hey cause, not too much actually. My chat has been a little dead, so just like running out of things to talk about. Um, how you doing? Definitely appreciate you coming out to the live stream. You know, just watching a little TV and you know, chatting with the lovely folk here. Although, like, I think everybody just bailed out of the live, so kind of sad now. But well, it happens. Oh yeah, to be honest, like it snowed here today as well, and that wasn't as fun. Um, you know, I haven't been outside all day though, but getting 1 foot, ouch. Well, stay safe, and yeah, hopefully it's not too bad for you. Because I know if we got 1 foot of snow, my car would be stuck. So. My car no lucky the snow. And like see on Sunday when I took my trip, some of the roads were not great. You know. Yeah, see the one nice thing about a truck though with a bed is if you just put a crap ton of weight back there, it'll get traction, like no matter what. Damn near. But and if you have the correct tires on it. Because that's something that we did with my dad's truck. He had a 99 Ram 1500 Sail Cab long box 318 5-speed rear wheel drive. You know, 355 rear gear in it. Loved that truck to be honest, but had 400 pounds of like cement slabs in the bed so that it would get traction. Worked really well actually. Ah, okay, that's fair. And hey, John, how's it going? Definitely appreciate you coming out to live stream. Hey, no worries, Joseph. I get it. Not a big deal. You know, it's how it goes, right? I get that, you know, people watching the live stream aren't always like, hey, sometimes people just want to listen to my voice and whatever else, and that's all good. I'm doing pretty good, actually. You know, I'm still at the tail end of a little bit of being sick, but not too bad, to be honest. Like, by tomorrow, I should be just about perfect. And yeah. And, hey, Cos, it's not a bad thing, though, you know. When people are chatting, it's really nice and gives me something to do, right? And that's what I do these lives as well to have something to do as well, because I usually do them when I'm bored. And I never really prompt my lives either. I've only ever prompted like one live. So, you know, and in the future, like I do want to set up live streams to where I have guests and stuff like that. I just need a different setup here at home to do it. So that's why, like, right now, this is just off my phone. Um, and yeah, so just one of those deals. And like, I've thought about, setting it up to where I use my computer, set up like something like StreamYard, you know, and invite myself, send myself the link so that this is on. All audio and visual will be off for the computer side, and then invite somebody else that way, because I could just do it that way. But we'll see. Not at that one, but because technically that wasn't a salvage yard. It's just a guy's collection of cars, and I just called it a junkyard tour because, to be honest, junkyard tour videos do really well. It's kind of a clickbait thing. But obviously, some of the vehicles haven't moved in quite a number of years, so I guess it kind of equates to junkyard to a certain extent. But you know, it's everything in there is pretty cool though. But however, at another property, because like I mentioned earlier in the chat, um, there's a truck that I really want. Because after that, I went to another friend of mine's property in Edmonton and saw a truck I really really want. Um, oh, I mean, right now I guess it might be a bit of a pain that way, but then also with the whole out of province deal BS, which is such a cash grab. Like, it's really they need to get rid of the out of province inspection crap. I can understand. Okay, if they have a special inspection for a vehicle out of country, like this imported from Japan or something like that, I can completely understand that. But, you know, having that for in the same country, though, is just stupid. Because I had to go through an out of province inspection when I got my Mustang, too. No. To be honest, like, although the property I went to afterwards, he has majority of the parts that I need, or not necessarily need, but want. So we'll make deals on those in the future. Probably in late spring, early summer. I'll drive up there, and I'll spend a couple of nights. We'll wrench on my car, get everything that we want on it, and yeah, then have a really unique and cool car when I'm done. Because my car's cool now and it's unique, but it'll be even more unique with everything I'm planning. And now we probably won't do absolutely everything there, but the bulk of it, like any of the mechanicals and any of the stuff that, hey, look, parts are already here, we can just swap it over. Yes. So, uh, oh yeah, that's how it goes. Um, yeah, because like my car being an inline six notchback that's early with a pewter interior and everything, it is very rare and unique. Hey, no worries, Joseph. Definitely appreciate you coming out to the live stream. And yeah, I'll catch you later. And yes, you can actually make quite a bit of power out of an inline six. I'm not gonna make like a huge amount of power, at least not right away. Like I've got a turbo sitting next to me that I want to put on it, but like I don't know if I'll put this turbo on or go to a different turbo. Or maybe go supercharged instead, because there is that possibility too. I know where there's 3 Eaton M90s, and we can modify an Eaton M90 to work for it. which I'd much prefer that, to be honest. The supercharged is cooler than a turbo, less plumbing involved and all that stuff too. Um, and yeah, so do that. Maybe we'll see. Because I want to put also a 5-speed, like a T5 in it. I want to put an 8.8 with like 373s to 355s in it as well. And yeah, keep it carbureted. Although if I could afford it, I would absolutely go to a Holley Sniper. Absolutely, but I can't afford a Holley Sniper. They're expensive. So yeah, and the rest of the stuff is relatively cheap, so I can afford it, right? Um, but yeah, so it's one of those deals with the car, and and the thing is with the stock internals on a 200 inline six, you can only do now. It's one or the other because that's when the connecting rods snap. Is you can either have 10 pounds of boost or 300 horsepower, whichever one you hit first will make the connecting rod snap. So you do have to worry about that. Like, if you build out the bottom ends of one of those, you can push well over 400 horsepower. So, I actually saw a guy selling what was honestly really good price on it. Not that I don't have the money for it, and I don't think anybody's gonna donate me 5,000 US dollars. So because the guy is selling a full top end turbo setup, like the head, valve springs, everything, turbo, and all the exhaust out the back too, for 5 grand. I'm like, that's a good price. Although I wouldn't want to do the single exhaust that he had, but I would do everything else. Um, and I haven't seen that video, but I know they put a bunch of power down. However, that's a different inline six than what I'm running though. Those actually do have quite a bit more aftermarket support. They also have a wonderful thing called a removable intake to make it a lot easier to build that kind of power too. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. And we'll see, like, because before I touch internals, if I do forced induction, I'm really only going to be somewhere around 260, maybe 280 horsepower. And it'll be great. Yes, for me to get that naturally aspirated, I'd have to do internal work and I'd have to boost the compression quite a bit. Uh, John, no, they're not because they're not playing. They were playing pretty well though before their shutdown. I will agree with that. Yes. It was kind of nice to see, although they were still kind of losing, but they were still playing decent though. So, I can't really get upset if they play well and then, you know, and just the other team just beats them, right? Because that does happen. But yeah, and I can't wait for hockey to come back that way because yeah, they're or at least for the Flames games to come back because maybe the 27th. I don't know. With 15 players in protocols right now, it's a crapshoot of if they're going to come back or not by the 27th. So yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I'm just I'm very excited for the future of my channel though and everything, and the stuff I'll get to film and get to drive and everything. It'll be great, honestly. Because yeah, I'm not showing it, but I'm very excited for that stuff. Oh my god, somebody messaging me on the T-Birds? What? Okay, it is charter. Uh, you might be able to. I won't be able to. Uh, honestly, if you want to do that, just send it to me on Instagram or something like that. Um, or to my Facebook page, whatever. Because yeah, I can't do that while we're live. I can't click that, and then I always forget after I'm done the lives to go click it. Any links that are sent in here. But if it's sent to my Instagram, okay, you don't have Instagram. Do you have Facebook? Cool, that works. Yeah, because like if I click on a link right now off of my phone, it'll screw up the live. So that's why I don't. Like anytime I go off screen, it like pauses the live. So he could. And let me guess that Civic is probably gonna go for a ton of money because it's bring a trailer and they just do that. All right, cool. I will check that out after the live. Yeah, again, doesn't shock me because bring a trailer does that. Um, because no Civic on the open market is going for that sort of price. You can get a mint example of a Civic down in the States for like 6 grand. Like, they're overpaying. They're just not worth the money. Unfortunately, a first gen Civic, for whatever reason, is not worth the money. I mean, but to be honest, I think I know why. It's because there's like zero aftermarket support for them, and it's really hard to find parts for. So that's probably why. That's why a lot of people just adapt parts from other stuff. You know, modify it to fit. Okay, so it's a non CVCC. Well, that's cool. So that's just like mine, except for it's a 77. Mine's a 78. So different grill, different tail lights, different bumpers. It's, eh. Well, see, it's interesting because they say automatic, but it's technically a manual without a clutch. It's just a two-speed though. You got low and high gear, right? I'd love to be eating a pizza right now, but see me. I'm obviously not doing that. I'm just here drinking my Canada Dry, my cranberry Canada Dry. And also, this might be the last live stream I do before Christmas. So for all of you in the chat, Merry Christmas to you, and yeah, hopefully you have a wonderful time this year. Because as long as this sickness is fully gone by then, which it should be, then I'll go. Then I'll actually have a Christmas. Otherwise, I won't. So Excuse me. You know, and yeah, it'll be yeah. To be honest, like I'm not that sick right now. I was much worse yesterday. Like I woke up and just like it felt like I was hit by a freight train. Like seriously. Um, I had like a headache from the back of my head, which is the worst. Um, I had a sore throat. I was kind of weak with standing and stuff like that, and I was very nauseated. Today though, yeah, just a sore throat. That's all I got. Sorry. Oh, that's cool, Jason. Yeah, I absolutely love those trucks, to be honest. John, yes, he does have a YouTube channel. It's just hard to find it because his channel gets buried and everything. But actually, what I can do here is, if you want, hang on. Um, where's my mouse? Well, actually, if Old School wants, he can put a link to his channel in the description, or not in the description, but in the thing. I mean, that's cool, Jason, and I'm sorry to hear about the loss, though. Like, but it's nice though that you have a nice heirloom to remember him by. That way, because yeah, currently like it's kind of sad. If my dad died, I mean, I would just get the Civic. But there you go. See, now you can click that link right there if you want to go to his channel and check him out. Because yeah, and sorry, I saw your comments about the Ranger needing fenders as well, and hey, I mean, with your car or with your truck being known, I know how that is. My everybody knows my car around town. Hey, here's the thing though. My channel's a hobby too. Yes, I make money off of it, but it is a hobby. So, hey, I totally get that. You know, that's one of those deals where it's an heirloom, and you know that's gonna be really hard to replace for anybody. So, actually, it'd be impossible to replace because of that connection. You know, I've had cars like that go through my grasp, and I wish I kept them that way, but you know, it's fine. Right? Like there was my dad had an 81 D150 when he was selling it. I wish I would have bought it off him, but I didn't. Because I ended up not buying it because it needed too much work. And then what's ironic is that I buy a full-fledged project car that needed a ton of work. So, like, I've replaced more on my Mustang than what needed to be done on the D150. So, oh well. It's all good, though. Yeah, because that was a sweet truck. Slant 6, 727, 410 gears, um, open rear end, you know, galvanized body too, dents in every corner, green with a giant white stripe going down the side. Love that truck. Ooh, that's cool. Yeah, and actually being a 65, they yeah, it's one of the really early ones too. That's cool. Uh Honestly, I would just end up if you can find a 5 liter a 5 liter Explorer. Take the rear end out of that because it's going to be the same track width as your Ranger. And it'll be an 8.8, so you'll never blow it up, really, no matter what you do to it. And chances are it's going to be limited slip, too, so it'll be fun, and it'll have good gearing as well, if you are looking for that. Yeah, it's cool, Jason. I love those Mustangs, to be honest. Any first gen Mustang of any year, I love. But my favorite year is a 1969 is my favorite year of Mustang by far. But yeah, we'll see if I ever get one someday. No, okay, the 89 Ranger, that's cool. I like that so that's still first gen, which is cool. That's a little later first gen, but still first gen. Love that body style. Your favorite is a Mustang 2? Interesting. Interesting. Because most people would not choose a Mustang 2 for their favorite. In fact, usually the Mustang 2 is their least common. John, I would be playing Christmas music, except I would get demonetized. So I don't want that. And actually, something I should do while I'm doing this. Oh, that's cool. That'd be a nice little hand-me-down for her. Actually, it's funny that people say that, but it shares a lot more components with a Pinto than it does a Maverick. So, and it obviously looks like a Pinto as well. Fox Body Celine. Okay, so now the thing is old school. Which one? Because there was two different ones. There was the Celine on the Aero Fox bodies, and there was also a Celine on the Four Eyes as well. No worries. YouTube Studio. Oh, can I not do it from here? Oh, there we go. I can do it that way. There we go. Yes. Perfect. There we go. Um, that just reminded me because I didn't have this monetized when I started this. So now I am monetized, so anybody that comes in will probably see an ad. You see, any of the Boss 302 1970, that's a good one as well. I still love the 69 though. 69 Mach 1 or Boss 302, it's great. Um, oh yeah, 68 with 390, definitely a very quick car. You know, just like the one in Bullet. Honestly, fantastic. And I saw something about I think King Cobra. Yeah, see now the King Cobra was really cool. But the funny thing about the King Cobra was that when um is you could totally tell that they were ripping off the Trans Am. 100% the Pontiac Trans Am. You look at a King Cobra 2 and it's absolutely bar none that is a Trans Am ripoff to a certain extent. Because you know the colors of it with the hey look, instead of a bird on the hood, it's a cobra, right? A giant thing on the hood. Awesome cars though. I've seen two in person. Oh, exactly, cause it's just funny though. Oh yeah, like I love every iteration of the Mustang, and I even like to a certain degree the Mustang Mach-E. Now it's not my favorite, absolutely not, and it's not one I want to own, but I like the styling of them, and I get why they put the name on that, so it makes sense. I'm assuming that wouldn't have been the original motor being a 427 because Pontiacs did not have Chevrolet engines until 1979 in them. So being a 427 um could have been a 400, could have been a 455, but being a 73, however 427 unless it was swapped in would not have been original to that. Mm, love that stuff so much. You see, well, the 301 I think was still a Pontiac engine, wasn't it? And then the 305 was the Chevrolet engine. Hey, it's all good. All the engines that could have had were a. They would have gotten rid of the 326 at that point. It would have been a Pontiac 350, a Pontiac 400, or a Pontiac 455. So, and now that that's done, I can go back to TV. There you go. Oh, that's fair. Um, yeah, yeah. So obviously it was swapped in, which nothing wrong with that. You can swap whatever motor you want. Uh, John, not in 73. The 389 was replaced by the 400 entirely in, I think that was 67. Yeah, at least I'm pretty sure the 389 they didn't make it that late. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think they did. Oh yeah, it would definitely, and it'd be fun with an engine, driving in a car like that. Oh, no worries, Cost. I definitely appreciate you coming out to the live stream. Um, Good luck with the snow, and I'll catch you later. Just put my blanket on. There we go. And yeah, like I'd love to have Christmas music on in the background, but of course, monetization, and I don't make enough to pay for music. Through my editing software, I have access to some music, but it's not. I don't think there's any Christmas music in there, so unfortunately, because otherwise I would. Because I like Christmas music. But I want to do the least amount possible for to make it so that this video stays monetized because I need the money. I always need money. But yeah, um, like in the old Pontiacs, the cool thing about them of like GM back in the '60s and early '70s. Oh hey Jason, uh, I definitely appreciate that. Thank you. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy the rest of the content here because you know I go live fairly often. And I never really prompt these, so you know if you see it, hey, there you go. But I will, and you too. Thank you so much. Ah, there you go. So that's cool. Cause yeah, I never saw him before, and that would be why. So seeing somebody just searching for live streams, finding this, that's pretty cool. But yeah, like I was saying with the Pontiacs, because like Pontiac for a long time had their own engines. But actually every division of GM had their own engines too. Like Cadillac had their own engines, Chevrolet had their own engines, Oldsmobile, Buick, and Pontiac. Every single one of them um didn't share engines until the 80s, to be honest, and late 70s, 80s. So, yeah. And you know, and they don't do that now for obvious reasons because, you know, it costs too much to do that now. And I mean, to be honest as well, like Oldsmobile and Pontiac are dead, so you know, they axed Oldsmobile and I think that was 2002, and then they axed Pontiac in 2010. So, yeah, pretty sad, but oh well. At the same time, when they axed Pontiac, they also axed Saturn. Oh, hey, no worries, John. I definitely appreciate you coming to the live stream. Yeah, hopefully the kitties enjoy their food. See, and that's the thing that I don't understand either, because you would think during COVID that prices for stuff, other than, of course, manufactured stuff when stuff got shut down, the prices would actually go down because less people have money, but for some reason the opposite happened. Oh yes, Mark, they definitely did. Pontiac was at the forefront of, you know, making cars during the 60s and 70s. You know, like into the early 70s. Because yeah, like and Pontiac made great strides, and you know, everybody knows, or at least now it's contested a bit, but for the most part, everybody says that the muscle car came back, or that the muscle car, the first one was the '64 Pontiac GTO. But there are some people that will argue that the 1958 Oldsmobile Super 88 was the first muscle car. But, you know, it just depends on what side you fall on. I fall on the GTO being first because it's always been that way. But people lately have been talking about, well, the Oldsmobile did the same thing back in the late 50s. So, yeah, we'll see. But the GTO definitely kickstarted that movement. Because before that, you didn't really have much. And then as soon as the GTO came out, everybody was making a muscle car. You know? And yeah, everybody was putting the biggest motors they could in their cars and really competing with each other, and it was really cool, to be honest. So, yeah. Um, and yeah, and I mean, the thing is, you know, there's a thing with Kate Saber. What are you doing? Come here. Come here. Ah, there we go. Because, like, the thing is, when it comes to, there's also inflation involved, too, which there's going to be inflation year to year to year because, unfortunately, back in the day when there wasn't paper money made, that there was actual, like, proper money that was, you know, made of, like, you know, gold and silver, right? That had proper value, because technically paper doesn't have any value. So, yeah. Actually, to be honest, if you look at majority of the muscle cars back in the day, they're not as fast as what people will say they are compared to new cars. Like, yeah, you can look at, you know, a big block Roadrunner from 1968. That'll do about a 13-second quarter mile. Yeah, majority of just regular cars nowadays can do that. So, it's one of those deals. Um, and yeah, and and it used to be that, hey, like for example, a 15-second quarter mile used to be a pretty good time. Now, a Camry can do that, right? So that's the thing, and with Teslas, um, it makes perfect sense why Teslas are so fast because they've created the electric cars that electric cars, the one nice thing about them is, or at least with their motors, they have instant torque. Where, my car peak torque is about 4,800 RPM. A Tesla's peak torque is at 1 RPM, right? It's incredible that way, right? And it keeps that peak torque all the way through. It does not actually peak anywhere. It just keeps going. So, oh yeah, and that's definitely true, Mark. It's gotten a lot harder to modify new cars. That's for damn sure. And it's kind of sad that way, but it's understandable though because of just the way things have gone and with safety standards and all this different stuff, right? It just makes me sad with like racing nowadays though, where that's gone, excluding like proper GT racing and stuff like that. But like Formula One, for example, used to be, hey, you had to fall within certain parameters, but you could design whatever you wanted as long as they fit within these parameters. Now they're not. They're all pretty much the same car. Yeah, and I mean, and like I like modern cars, but I much prefer my classics, like by far. Like there's only one modern car that I might take over a classic, but it's a very special car, and that is a Lexus LFA. But it's one of the very few exceptions in my life that I would take, because yeah, it's I love the looks that it has, the sound it makes. It's just incredible. But yeah, see, Koenigseggs are cool, but they're not like. Don't get me wrong. I would love to see one in person and to drive one, but they're not like, hey, I want one though. Although it is amazing what Christian von Koenigsegg has built, though, because you look at that company and it's like, holy crap, it's amazing. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah, still sick, but because after this live stream, I'm gonna go have a bath and catch up on some other videos and stuff like that and relax. I actually want to check. Oh god, this thing's not charging at all. Doing this, okay. Ugh. Hello, Martino. How's it going? Definitely appreciate you coming on the live stream. I'm just sitting here chatting with all of you lovely folk. Mostly about cars, but sometimes the chat deviates from there. You know, go with the flow and see what happens. Although, actually, I will mention because I did put the conversation on my community tab. It's really funny. There was this guy that was talking to me about he's got a 90s, I can't remember, I think he said a 94 uh GMC with a GMC Sierra with a 454 in it, right? You know, they don't make a ton of power. They make a decent amount of power though. I mean, not great for the time though. Like considering it's a 454 and it only made like 230 horsepower or something like that. It's kind of sad. Um, but anyways, so this guy, we're chatting a bit. He was trying to find somebody that knew cars and whatever else to give him some guidance, and I finally, I was the one that replied back to him, and I told him like his best bet because he was concerned about the mileage he was getting with his 454. To be honest, you're not going to get good mileage out of a 454 no matter what you do to it. But I told him your best bet to get any decent amount of mileage out of it is get rid of the TBI setup on it and go to a Holley Sniper. But the thing is though, I didn't know which sniper would work for him because again, they have quite a few different options for that. Now if he was building it out and trying to get the most power possible, yeah, I know which one he'd get. But because of that, um, I just didn't know. Hey, Mark, no worries. Hope you have a fantastic evening and Merry Christmas to you too. I'll catch you later. And yeah, because I don't know, this might be the last stream until Christmas. We'll see though, for sure. But yeah, anyway, so talking with this guy about his truck and everything. I told him to contact Holley directly. I gave him their phone number, and I gave them or him their email, right? So he emails them, and they don't get back to him, whatever. So that does happen occasionally. So okay. So then he goes, hey, I'm not sure which one I should get. Can you let me know? And I was on the road at this point, like, and then just as I'm pulling into the Peters parking lot in Red Deer to get some food, he messages me saying, I order you to message me back or talk to a qualified mechanic. I'm going, that's not how this works, buddy. And I sent him a voice message of, there was a few expletives in there, and, just saying, hey, don't be a sexist jerk. Like, I'm helping you with this, but doesn't mean that I'm on my time, not on your time, bud. So, it was just like, wow, like I can't believe he said that. But people will be stupid. And yeah, and after I sent him that voice message, I just instantly blocked him because I'm like, I'm not dealing with this. But yeah. But anyways, I think I'll end the live stream here. It's been an hour and a half. I'm starting to get a little tired doing this. Head starting to go, all this different stuff. Again, I am still sick after all. So, yeah. Anyways, I hope you all have a fantastic evening. And if I don't see you before Christmas, Merry Christmas. Um, and yeah, I will chat at you all later. Yeah. Anyways, good night.